Hello everyone and welcome to another Heffy Doodle video. Today I'm taking the Heffy Doodle Elephant of Surprise stamp set and
I'm such a nerd.
And quite a few other supplies like this Saffron cardstock by Stampin' Up and the paper tray ink Pure Poppy. Do you like that? Let me know in the comments below if you know what I did there. So I have my stencils and I'm picking the Raise the Roof stencil by Heffy Doodle. I'm inspired by Dumbo. So this lends itself to a circus kind of theme, or it's lots of things, but it could be that circus stripe. That's what I'm going for. So I'm adding Candied Apple Distress ink to my Saffron cardstock with a Nuvo blending sponge, and it is allowing me to saturate, this paper or cardstock with lots and lots and lots of ink. I can also blend it out with this sponge and get it pretty smooth. They remind me of the makeup blending sponges that we use to apply makeup to our face. So this is a battery operated fan, and I've been using it to dry off my projects as I create them, and it helped me dry it so that I could remove the stencil. Now this is pretty intense, so don't worry. I'm going to tone it down with a little bit of a scene on the front. I'm taking this die from the Clover Frames die set by Heffy Doodle and cutting it from Pure Poppy cardstock by Paper Tray Ink in my Spellbinders Platinum die cutting machine. This is the big die cutting machine. This die allows me to create these dots. You can see them on the paper. That's going to tell me where on the paper I can ink blend, and also that's where I'm going to cut out. I'm going to fussy cut it, and the dots are just going to be where I cut. This color box cleaning pad is really great for helping me clean up my brushes just like that, like when I want to switch colors or make sure that I get the purest color, because this is Versamagic Aspen Mist and it's a very light color, and so if there was a different color on my brush it would definitely be seen. So I use that cleaning pad to kind of clean it up. This is the MFT Clouds or Mini Clouds stencil. I'm not quite sure, but I'm also blending around the outside of where the die is going to get cut out, kind of like to frame the clouds as well. One of the last times I used this stamp set was to create a bib, and I used it with a fabric marker. Look how much the fabric marker stained my stamp. Now staining is okay, it's still going to work properly, it still functions, but I've never seen something quite that black. I didn't leave it that way, it got that way over time. So I'm using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink this time and some Neenah 110 pound cardstock to stamp my image of the elephant, and some MEMO tape because we're going to mask the elephant and do some masking with another Heffy Doodle stamp set called Hello SQUEAKHEART. So I created this mask, and then I realized that later, after I stamped it and colored it and everything, that I wanted to add a hat. I wanted my elephant to look more like Dumbo, so I'm taking my Memento Tuxedo Black marker and selectively inking. My video is a bit jumpy because I didn't realize that until after I had colored the images that I needed to restamp it. So you'll see as we go along that it's a little bit choppy, but you get the point. We are going to now break out some Copic markers and do some Copic coloring. If you do not enjoy Copic coloring or markering or anything like that, then you can skip ahead. There is a Copic color map over on my blog, or you can screenshot this one. It's perfectly good. I colored this, the whole thing, and I loved it, and it was super cute. And then I realized that when you add a hat to the elephant, you can't have the line on his head, like his forehead. You gotta take that away. And I didn't realize it until the very end. After I color him, you'll see me and my OSHIT moment. Honestly, it was a blessing in disguise because now I decided that I was going to make 2 cards, and what's better than 1 card? 2 cards. So you can kind of see the background that I created also out of craft cardstock and white pigment ink. I did it the same exact way, but now that I was making 2 cards, I needed 2 backgrounds. So I went with a little bit more subtle because the red and the orange, although very Dumbo-esque, it was a bit much for me. So I wanted to tone it down a little bit, but still have that same theme. And also Tim wanted me to make him a card, and he really liked the red and the orange background. So I was like, okay, I'll make 2 cards. And when I say that Tim wants a card, he wants to make a card via me. So he tells me what to do, okay? So he doesn't do it himself. He just tells me what to do. So I did sketch out with a pencil, and then I went back over with pigment ink with the Copic multi-liner to add those hats. Then I used my Nuvo mustard gold crystal drops to do all of that. They're not perfect, but I did it, and they're almost kind of the same size, so don't touch it. There's hope that I won't mess this up, okay?
2 hours later.
Okay, so 2 hours might be a bit dramatic, but I did set it aside to dry. I'm also cutting the Friend Heffy Cuts word die out of the So Saffron, and I'm doing this 4 times so that I can layer it together. I did keep all of the tops to my eyes. They also managed to make it on my card today. And this is pretty much the only way I'll use a word die these days, is by layering it together. I have 4 layers and some Nuvo deluxe adhesive glue, and I'm just using little tiny drops all over, and then my pokey rainbow tweezer tool. I don't know what to call it. Pokey rainbow tweezer tool. Sounds great to me. Anyway, it and this micro brush, disposable micro brush, helped me clean up the adhesive that kind of spews out the side of it, and then I just set it down to dry. So here I am, just using my heat tool, not bothering anybody, going about my business, when my husband brings in his heat tool. It's much, much larger. It is ugly, okay? It is not attractive, but I'm prepping my cardstock, and I'm inking it up with Nuvo Clear Mark embossing ink, and I'm stamping it down. I'm using the Nuvo, I think this is mustard. I don't know. Everything's going to be listed below. And I'm turning it on the highest heat setting. It's pretty quiet. I didn't give you guys a good audio, but watch this. Boom. Do you see that? Watch. It's embossed. Like, just the one swipe. So even though it was kind of cool that it did that really fast, really hot, and it didn't warp my paper, it's an ugly tool. It's big and it's clunky, and I don't think that I would use it on a regular basis. But that's just my opinion. I'm using some white craft foam to pop up my top layer. I will show you both cards, but I did end up preferring this craft background. I used the same liquid adhesive to do the cloud piece with some very thin Stampin' Up strip adhesive on the back of that frame. I used my Heffy Doodle strips of ease dies to cut out these strips, which are popped up with Scotch 3M foam tape. The balloon and the flag are added on with these glue dots. I love using glue dots, and I like my little dispenser. Just pop it on the back and then tuck it into place. The Friend word die is popped up with Dumbo Extreme Clear Tabs adhesive. I'm in love with this stuff. That is it. That is my card for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I enjoy talking to you.
I am such a dork.
Here is a look at the card that Tim instructed me to use with the feather and the background. Find me, find Heffy Doodle on social media, and until next time.
All right.
How many do we get? How many?
20.
20 pictures.
That's what they're telling me.
Okay. They don't have to be, do they have to be hits? Good hits? Like fair?
Are we going to be,
foul?
yeah, well, we're not going to talk about contact. Not contact, but quality hit.
So it has to look, it has to appear like it would have gone fair.
Right, not a dribbler, not a pop-up that's going to roll back behind you and hit you in the head.
I think Benita should be the judge.
Or the film
I want to film it.
could be the judge.
Or the film. Okay.
Oh, is that y'all's Sunday night thing?
Just Easter. We only make new videos with each other on Easter.
Hey, I think we should get the first one.
Skip the first, fair enough.
So that's out of 19.
Alright. Still looks like it's fair, kinda.
That's it. Except for maybe one or two. You killed that.
Good luck.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have a chance.
Are you ready? Oh, that's gonna hurt. You're connecting with a lot more than I did.
They're not. There you go. So, how you feeling?
Feel pretty good.
Oh yeah? You should stand up.